How did you find out you're beautiful? Get a chair, let's talk. There's this ecological concept called imprinting and social/environmental conditioning, which simply means that an organism, regardless of its genetic potential, ends up being shaped by the environment it is exposed to in the initial stages of life. For example, if a monkey is raised by humans, it's going to have human behaviors, regardless of its monkey capabilities. So it may not be as agile or as strong or as well adapted to the wild as other monkeys because it never had that opportunity to begin with. In summary, the nature of an organism determines its potential, but the nature of an organism, that is its environment, its exposure, and its learned behaviors, determines how much of that potential that it inherently has is maximized. Episode 1147, Discovering I'm Beautiful.
Kenyans had this thing with commercials, using a lot of pointies in their TV commercials. Face of Africa, they were there, but they were also very light-skinned, pointies and things like this. So I used to look at these things. I admire the girls and things like this, and I used to see they're beautiful, but they're different from me. So me, I can't make it because I don't look like them. Normally, people stare at me because they think I'm too dark. I used to, it got to a point where I just used to like attack you. Like, seriously, just leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you walk in town or toy market.
In this here, Kenya?
Yes, toy market, they're always selling bleach to me.
What?
Yeah, they're still selling bleach. They always come, akishika aki unahitaji. There was even a point nilishika nini. Inaitwa Fair and Lovely. Yani, I was contemplating starting to use it.
What?
Imagine, there was a point I shikad it and I was actually contemplating, I've had enough of this thing. Staring at myself in the mirror and seeing an ugly person. I'm so sick and tired of this. And I used to sleep and just be like, God, please can I just wake up light-skinned tomorrow?
What?
Imagine.
If the nature of an organism determines its potential, but its environment determines how much of that potential is realized, herein lies the importance of exposure. It is extremely profitable to get out of your natural habitat and see what the world has for you. I'll give you an example. In the US, the median wage for a model per hour is $22. In my country, models make as little as $75 per job, or even less, since we don't have that much data to compare. So the exposure that Ajuma needed in this context came in the form of words she'd never had before.
Be like, wow, that girl, she can be a model. This wazungu sasa. They say, oh my gosh, that girl is amazing. She's so beautiful. She's so regal. And, she can be a model. I think Kina Lekwek had started getting into the international industry. So home, of course, Lekwek wouldn't be considered beautiful.
Yes.
But sasa, kumbe it had already started.
I get it.
Over there. So now them are the ones coming now into Africa telling me I'm beautiful. There's an American woman who walked up to me because there was something I was doing on stage. All of them were just like, I could see the
way they looked
white,
at you.
Yeah. The Americans, the way they're looking at me, they were so fascinated by me. Like, yeah, they were not looking at me like that. And it was very confusing to me. It was a confusing moment to me because it was the first time somebody stared at me,
like you're beautiful,
but with woe. I'm like,
what? In the mix of all this madness that's been told to you?
I'm just like, no. No, first of all, I can't even stand in heels. My friends used to put heels on me so they can laugh. Because I'll be like this, I can't even stand in heels. So me, I'm just me, my head is just like, wait, stop, don't even, my head is not even like, I can't even fathom the fact that I am beautiful, right? I've seen myself always as not beautiful, not attractive. So what are these people saying? Do they even understand the standards of beauty? I am not that.
Two men are traveling to a land they've never been before. The first man encounters a farmer along the way and decides to ask that farmer, what are the men like where I'm going? And the farmer responds by asking again, how are the men where you're from? And the first man says, they are cruel, they are liars, they're dishonest, I cannot trust any of them. And the farmer says, you will find the same men here. And the first man walks off. The second man soon catches up, finds the farmer, asks the same question, and the farmer asks again, how are the men where you're from? And the second man responds, they are kind, they are always willing to help, they're genuine. And the farmer says, you will find the same men here. The moral of the story? People see the world not as it is, but as they are. So let me know, how did you find out you're beautiful?
So that day, I kind of slept. It started coming.
You are joking.
I know, I started seeing myself in a sort of a different light somehow from that point. You know, pole too.
Yourself.
And the funniest thing,
what is
I
that?
did it on my own. So it was a battle that it was inside of me. Externally, an ugly person had been instilled inside of me, right? And then now, internally, somebody is making me discover myself. So it was a
crazy.
difficult fight within myself. And it was just, I felt alone in this. I mean, I felt like nobody could ever understand me. Going forward, when somebody stared at me or when somebody said something to me, it didn't, I didn't react emotionally or physically the way I usually did.
Well, outside didn't change.
No,
They
the
still
people
said the
outside
same.
didn't change. I changed inside. My beauty started shining through. I started seeing it.
So I like it
I
who you're
got
seeing.
more comfortable looking at myself in the mirror, and that is how my confidence grew with my physical beauty.
Hey, Ajuma, this. I had no idea this what this city was. So,
Usilie?
Ntalia.
Oh, no, you-
Ntalia. Ntalia. I'm in tune with my emotions.